Who wants to start?
How much have you talked about lane integrity on special teams units?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't really hard. The guys know who 25 is for them, obviously, from last year's game. So it's been an emphasis. It always is an emphasis. When you play a guy as dangerous as him, the guys are going to know that.
Coach Doeren, the Thursday night game a couple years back against Louisville, do you use that as motivation at all for sort of bulletin board material for you guys going to a big game like this on Friday?
I don't know what you mean by bulletin board material. I mean, they didn't say anything about our program, did they? Okay. What do you mean by that?
Just the atmosphere of that game, the fans, the excitement.
Yeah, no, night games in our stadium, and obviously that was a great win. Lamar Jackson for them. It was a great football team that they had, and Bradley Chubb had an epic night. Jermaine Pratt, great play. We'd love to have that kind of environment. But, for me to talk about it, the guys that were there for it probably remember it, but there's only been a handful of games, that one, the Clemson night game we've had. There's certain games like that have just been spectacular, and hopefully we'll have that same kind of energy.
How important is it going to be for some guys to step up to have those like Bradley Chubb, kind of Jermaine Pratt performances?
Yeah, to win a big game, and that's what I just told the team. You're playing a team that's undefeated in our league. We're undefeated in our league. You're on national television. It's a night game. You got a lot of reasons, pick one, to go out there and play as well as you can play. And within those games, there's going to be guys that have moments, for whichever team. And obviously we'd like it to be on our team, and who that's going to be, time will tell. But these are the kind of games where, sometimes legacy-type performances emerge.
KC Concepcion,
Yeah.
great game last week. Going to try to carry that over this week against Louisville.
Sure, it'd be great.
Talking to Anthony Belton yesterday about players seem to be pretty hyped about the all-black, glow-in-the-dark numbers on the uniforms. What have you heard from them?
Players love the uniforms, the swag, all the things, the drip as they call it. So yeah, I'm excited for them. Anytime we can do something that gets them excited about what we're wearing, and the all black has always been a good look in our stadium for our guys.
Coach, it seemed like on short yardage situations on UVA, you guys did particularly well. Just how has the team improved in those situations through?
Yeah, I mean, really, since the opener, we failed on 2 in the opener. Since then, we've done great, and I think it's just execution, understanding the game plan, what we're trying to do, showing them the looks that they might get, and then executing at a high level. And then the runners sometimes have to make, some work on their own. Delbert's been great about getting extra yards for us. Brennan, sometimes you got to be your own blocker. There's a lot of people at the line of scrimmage in those situations. So we've done a good job the last 3 games. Hopefully that'll continue.
Is there anyone who's specifically impressed this week in practice?
I think our secondary's been tested all week, obviously because of what we're about to see. And no one in particular, but that group has practiced well, and that was what we were hoping for. Obviously, we're playing against a really good passing attack.
Have you seen a guy like Bishop Fitzgerald kind of grow through the year?
Yeah. Yeah, he gets here late in the summer, so, we knew him through recruiting, but you really don't know him, the way that you will when he's playing for you. And so just getting to know him as a person, seeing the kind of teammate that he is. He's a very fast learner. He's been able to pick things up, and just a reactor. Some guys on defense just see things, and he's one of those guys. He's got great ball skills too. His ability to track a football, even when his body's out of control, and make a play. It's been really good.
How do you prepare for an explosive offense like Louisville's? Are there certain things teaching points that you really hone in on this week?
Well, you got to know where their guys are. They're playmakers, first of all. It starts at number 1 at receiver. Very good player playing at a high level. There's route concepts that you talk about with your guys and what they're trying to do, with different concepts, whether it's a vertical concept or a horizontal or a spacing concept. And sometimes formations can tell you things, so you're getting into different things like that. The layers in your zone defenses with your linebackers and your DBs, and how you want to play off of each other in those scenarios. The pass rush that comes into play. I mean, there's a ton of intricacies when you're talking about defending anybody. But with these guys, your margin for error could be detrimental, because their guys are really good. Their quarterback last week was on fire. And so, it's a great matchup. It's a very good offense.
You mentioned the pass rush. It seems like they're very rhythm on offense. How important is to disrupt that rhythm?
Well, if you can, you know, anytime you can get a quarterback off his spot, make him move, show him things after the snap instead of before the snap to make him, you know, have to adjust a little bit, just trying to buy yourself a little bit more time in coverage, a little bit more time in pass rush. Those things matter. You know, he's very rhythmic, and like I said, he played a tremendous game last week. He was very accurate against Boston College, and his receivers have been really good.
On Monday, you kind of talked about the fundamentals a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
how have you kind of seen the team, you know, work off of that this week?
Well, they've bought into what I'm talking about. I mean, I think they all see, you know, and it's not one player, it's every play a different player, and so it's just being consistent with 11-man complementary football. And, you know, when you get beat, why'd you get beat there? What happened? You know, it's the same player you just blocked the play before. So what happened? All right, well, you hopped instead of using independent feet. Where were your eyes? Well, your head was down. Like, so all the little things that happen within a 4 to 6 second window on a play, it's just getting the guys more consistent at that. And that's what the focus has been all week. You know, how can we improve as a team? You do it best by improving individually throughout the team.
Secondary got a couple of key interceptions, and then the second half
Yeah.
against Virginia. How important is it going to be to win the turnover battle?
Yeah, it's critical. You know, I mean, in my tenure as a head coach, it's over 85% when we do win it from a win standpoint. So that's the first key to victory every week is going to be that, right? And so field position and explosive plays and all the other things will come into play. But the number one thing is turnover margin, and a critical area for us, an area that we've done well most of the season, most of the last few seasons. And so we'll be talking a lot about it.
Kendrick Raphael and Cecil Powell had to leave the last game. Just what's their status going into
Day to day. Day to day.
Is it weird knowing that football recruits are playing their games?
Yeah. Like I said, you know, my son's game's the same time as our game 2 weeks in a row now. So it's, you know, finish the game and get in there and look at my phone and see if my son won as well. And it just is what it is. I'm glad this is our last Friday game of the year, and I look forward to being back on Saturdays.
Talking with the players yesterday, one of the things they really emphasized is complementary football,
Yeah.
right? And the offense not trying to necessarily go above and beyond what they need to do, just playing off what the defense is giving them, things like that. How much is there an emphasis on the offense to not like, hey, don't worry about taking these massive attacks every single time, play with what the defense is giving you in these kind of situations?
Well, it's all the phases that way. You know, if Caden Newcaster booms a punt and sets the defense up, then the defense wants to play off the field position they were given. And then we get a punt return that sets up the offense. Now they want to take advantage of that field position they got. And that's what we've done well in every game but one. You know, in the Notre Dame game, we started that game with back-to-back 3-and-outs, field position on 50 twice and got no points. Like, those are the things that, you know, hit home to our players really after that game. Like, dang, we had opportunities here to change this game and didn't capitalize, you know. And you can give Notre Dame credit, or you can say we need to do a better job. It's both, you know. We need to do a better job. And so I think that was a great learning moment in that game. And our guys the next week responded, played really well off of each other. I thought in the last game there were spurts of that, you know. And so we understand what that is and what it isn't. And it's just we'll continue to brainwash and, you know, do our part to talk about the magnitude of that.
Is that good, guys? I'm going to put you on the phone.
That it?
Thanks, Coach.